Okay, this is my friend Liz.
Hey.
And she is going to share a story with us that she just told me about, and I said, of course, we have to share this with my readers. So recently, she had a health struggle, so start with that.
It was so scary. I had intense pain out of the blue trying to swallow and eat. Everything hurt.
Just one day out of the blue?
Out of the blue. I was literally having a piece of toast, and it felt like I swallowed razor blades. I didn't know what to do. I had no idea what it was. The feeling persisted all day long. I ate very little. I was scared to death.
Wow.
So it persisted for several days. We went away for the weekend. I was miserable. I had stopped by the health food store, and they gave me some aloe juice, which seemed to help a little bit, but I just couldn't eat. I have previously been diagnosed with GERD, but I didn't...
Tell people what that is in case they don't know. Gastric.
Reflux, yeah.
Reflux, yeah.
Yeah, sorry. Esophageal.
Right.
Yeah. And, but through taking digestive enzymes and sometimes supplementing with HCl, I was able to have no symptoms. Never.
Awesome.
So...
You healed yourself, basically.
I thought so.
Yeah. But you didn't know for sure if this was related, right?
And that was many years ago.
Okay.
And I've had no problems. I don't have heartburn. I don't have stomach upset. I don't have gas and bloating. I mean, I don't have any problems. I have no pain.
Okay.
Until that day.
Wow. So then what?
So I was scared. Had a very miserable weekend. I did have heartburn at this point, but everything hurt to eat, like mashed potatoes hurt. So I was eating very little and getting literally over the course of like about 7 days, weaker and weaker and weaker.
Wow.
And finally I went in to see my chiropractor, and he thought I had a digestive thing going on. He thought I didn't have enough stomach acid and recommended apple cider vinegar, which felt like acid going down my throat. So I did go see a medical doctor and got in for a scope within about 48 hours. And they found ulcers in my esophagus and in my stomach.
Okay, but the story that I wanted you to tell us, especially, tell us about when you went in for that scope.
Oh, gosh.
My readers are going to be so ticked, just like I was when you told me.
So I was scared. You're going to have conscious sedation, and they're going to put a tube and a camera down your throat. And in the intake process, the nurse that put in my IV and everything, asked me, "What are you most afraid of?" And I said, probably my biggest fear is, leaving here with a prescription for, a lifetime of medication. Take these pills for this problem.
For the rest of your life.
For the rest of my life. And so she typed that in her thing. So moments later, they wheeled me into the surgical room where the procedure was going to take place. And there was a guy sitting like off in the corner at a computer screen and hadn't introduced himself to me. And he just sort of hollered over, "So you don't want to get better?" And I was like, "What?" And I was trying to sit up more and look because there's all kinds of equipment. And he said, "You don't want to get better?" And I was like, "Yeah, I do. I've been in a lot of pain. I've been really scared." And he comes over, introduces himself as the doctor, and says, "If you don't take the pills, you won't get better." And I was asking him what kind of pills, because I kind of knew, and sure enough, it's proton-pump inhibitors, which kind of stop the production of stomach acid.
Tell us again what kind of inhibitors?
Proton-pump inhibitors, okay. PPIs. Most people will recognize brand names like Nexium or Prilosec.
For ulcers.
Yeah,
okay.
Exactly. Well, it's common for people with all kinds of digestive ailments.
Oh.
The common, I think, train of thought in the medical world is that you have too much acid, so you shut it down.
Right.
Well, so I went home that day with these prescriptions. The scope happened, I had the ulcer in the esophagus, which he ultimately felt was from like a pill or supplement I had swallowed that hadn't gone down and had sat there and like basically burned a sore.
Apparently that's more common than...
Actually, you got to take enough water. And
okay.
I found myself now needing to eat something.
To
a
push
little
it down.
piece of bread, a bite of banana, something to make sure that I have gone all the way down.
Yeah.
Because the pills you don't always feel.
Yeah.
So he felt that it happened, and it's very common. He didn't even really have anything to say about the ulcer in the stomach.
Wow.
But he sent me off with the prescriptions for the PPIs.
It's so sad that's all they know.
Yeah. Now, they did also give me, which wasn't ready in the pharmacy for like 2 more days, he called it a slurry, and it was something to kind of coat the throat and the esophagus, and that was supposed to make it more comfortable for me to like lay down and go to sleep or to eat a meal. Well, by the time I got it, I didn't really need it anymore. My body
what was
already,
in that.
I don't know.
That's scary.
I took a couple doses of it,
Yeah.
and then I was forgetting, and
Yeah.
I wasn't in pain.
Yeah.
So that
because
would've
you
been-
were already better because you had started the apple cider vinegar a couple days before your scope, correct?
Yeah, and I think my body was healing if this had actually happened from a pill or whatever.
Yeah.
So I did go back to my chiropractor, who does muscle testing. Do you know about that?
Yep.
And he was able, because I was very concerned about the root cause. I didn't know if there was something in my diet that needed to be changed.
Yeah.
And I said, my gut feel, which is funny because
Yeah.
it was in my gut.
Right, ironically.
My gut feel is that it's stress.
Yeah.
And he did the muscle testing. He said, you are 100% correct. It's stress.
Oh, really?
And so I'm doing the apple cider vinegar with breakfast and supper. He also gave me a supplement to take for 6 weeks to help actively heal the ulcers. And it's food ingredients, like okra is one of the main things in it.
Wow.
And he said I could go and buy okra and cook it and eat it for every meal, but I may not get as much, in the healing process. I might have other issues.
Yeah.
And I don't really like okra.
Yeah. I don't know
So
if I've
that's
ever
what I'm
had okra.
doing. And I go back in a few weeks.
So
early September.
You only
find out.
took the pill that the doc gave you maybe 3 times and then just decided no because you read online, and what'd you find out about that
Kelly,
drug?
it's terrible. Your stomach needs to be in an acidic environment to digest your food properly to get the nutrients from it. So when you shut down the acid, you're shutting down a big part of your digestion process.
Wow.
I saw in my news feed today, I think I was telling you, there's a higher incidence of heart attacks and heart issues with people that take this drug long term. Wow. And there's no exit strategy. He doesn't give it to you for 8 weeks just to heal the ulcers. If you start reading about it, your body, it's very hard to go off of them once you get on them. So yeah, I took 3 doses, which was a day and a half.
Wow.
And I said, I can't do this.
Thank God you did your reading and your research and you had another opinion, because otherwise people would go on this and the doctors are creating lifetime patients. That's all they're doing.
And I don't believe that he was malicious. I don't think he's
thought he was
intentionally
helping.
trying to hurt me.
Yeah.
He thinks I'm a bit of a kook. Because he found out from my husband that I do take supplements.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think he thinks I'm sort of, I don't know why you do that.
He's probably never heard of someone taking apple cider vinegar to help their ulcers.
I don't know. So I'm really curious too, and I don't know if we talked about this before, but I have a couple other issues. Like I have rosacea, and that can be directly tied to digestion. So even though I wasn't having symptoms that bothered me, like heartburn or indigestion, it is a sign on my skin that digestion is not happening.
That you're not getting the nutrients from your food that you should, because you eat really well.
I think I do. I mean, I'm not perfect.
But you do really well.
So that'll be interesting. And if you go and Google rosacea, one of the, commonly known cures is apple cider vinegar or assisting your digestion process.
Wow.
So it could be the apple cider vinegar. You could supplement with HCl, which is like the hydrochloric acid that your stomach produces. And digestive enzymes can be helpful. I'm going to do just the apple cider vinegar right now.
And just see where that goes.
It's easy to get down the throat. It's been around forever.
But who
It's
knows,
cheap.
for a lot of mysterious health issues, if maybe it's all a matter of our bodies getting the nutrients, even if we're eating well.
Absolutely.
And the other thing that was in the article that was posted on the blog the other day by Joni is how you can be eating perfectly, but if you're not, eating foods from soil that has all the nutrients in it,
Correct.
the food's just going to be dead anyway, and you won't be getting nutrients that way. There's just so much more that doctors don't know.
Yeah, it's scary.
I guess not just doctors, but everybody, a lot of people. But thank God you are proactive and you listen to your gut.
Thank you for your encouragement, though. You really, because I was scared. When
Yeah.
you're scared and you're in pain,
Yes.
and someone says,
This could help you be better.
right.
Yeah.
But you said to me in the email, you said, do you want to see an alternative doctor to find out
Did
more
I?
natural
Did I?
remedies?
I
You
didn't
did.
remember that. Okay, good.
Which, of course, that was on my mind, and I was
Yeah.
going to go back to my chiro who I trusted, but I was scared.
Yes.
And I was scared not to do what the medical doctor told me to do.
Yeah.
So just a little encouragement to trust your gut and to, that helps.
Don't you think that's the case with almost all issues when it comes to, I remember when my mom had cancer last summer and we were going in and they're saying, this, if you do this, this could really give her a few more good months or
Right.
years even. And at the time, especially with, someone like my mom who's not exactly, comfortable or open to alternative treatments, but at the time you're like, well, what? This could give us more, then you just go for it because the doctor's telling you, a person of authority, and you just go for it. And that's why I think if it was myself or anyone else, no matter what it is, you have to go and do your own research and see what else might be out there and available. You maybe never would have known about apple cider vinegar if you hadn't.
And I kind of did know, but
Yeah.
I didn't,
Yeah.
like I didn't know if that would help this. And
Yeah.
I think I would have been open to taking the proton pump inhibitors for 8 weeks.
Yeah, if it
until
was
my
short
next
term.
scope.
Yeah.
I think that we can use medicine that way to our advantage.
Yeah, it can be good sometimes.
However, what I read online, and it may not all be true, but I read account after account after account of people that could not get off of them once they started. It messed up their body.
Really?
And so they would have the acid would just come pouring in. It was messed up. It does not help your body to work better. It shuts down part of your body's natural process.
Well, the same thing with, this is kind of off topic, but people who are put on anti-anxiety meds. They, I have a whole other post about this too. They can't get off them then. They're on it forever. Because when you try to go off them, you feel crazier than you ever did in the beginning, and you think, wow, I must really still need these, and you're stuck for life.
Crazy and dizzy spells, and just your body is wrong. Like your chemistry is just messed up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All because of this drug that people think is an easy fix. But anyway, thank you for sharing your
Thanks.
story, and I think it's going to help a lot of people.
Thanks.